Here to talk about Beating Parkinson's One Swing at a Time golf event on November 15th. I'm joined by Gregg Hummer. He's president and director of the Support Group Assistance Program at Jax Hope Incorporated.
Yes.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Welcome back, I should say.
Yeah, welcome.
And Alaine Keebaugh, a geneticist and director of grants and development at Jax Hope Incorporated. Hey, Alaine.
Hi, thanks for having us.
So, can we just start out for people who don't know, who was Bill Watson?
So Bill Wilson was
Excuse me, Wilson. I apologize.
no, he was a former statistician and professor at University of North Florida. He also had Parkinson's disease, and so he sort of had this vision to increase awareness and resources for people impacted by Parkinson's in Jacksonville. And so we are trying to honor his legacy and further his vision.
And so he died in 2020. Um, I understand that when he first got Parkinson's, his own inclination was to sort of hide it and to not acknowledge it.
Yeah, so he, didn't obviously want it to affect his work life and his friends, and he did. But at some point after that, he embraced it and really started to say, "Hey, we need to make changes in the community so people with this disease and our family who's affected by it know where to go." And there's not this sort of I don't want to say shame, but just like you don't want to share it with people because it's a quite personal
Sure, it's personal.
thing.
It can be a very emotional diagnosis for people.
Yeah, and scary and lonely. There's probably a lot of emotions associated with it that fortunately I haven't had to experience yet.
Yeah. So, do you have a diagnosis of
No, no,
Parkinson's?
no. I'm sorry that I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you come from a family that has any Parkinson's in it?
My family does not have Parkinson's in it. So my father had Alzheimer's, and then I have a mother with essential tremor. So I have some experience in the neurological
Mm.
disorders world, but not specifically with Parkinson's.
And you're a geneticist. Is this a genetic disease? Like, is this an inherited illness or disease?
So for the most part, it's not. About 10% of people with Parkinson's disease do have some form of genetic heritability component in there. But for the most part, we don't know what causes Parkinson's disease.
So, Greg, you have a diagnosis of Parkinson's,
Yes.
and you are an advocate for spreading the word about it, educating people about it. How does somebody like Bill Wilson's work impact the community? What is his legacy?
Well, what he wanted to do is when people get first diagnosed with Parkinson's, like you said, it can be a lonely disease, but we want these people to get connected to a local support group, get involved, exercise, do social activities with other people with Parkinson's. So what it does, the more active they are, the more things they do, it slows down the progression. And sometimes I've even seen where it even stops it or reverses it. I've seen people who go to exercise regularly. They come starting with a wheelchair, then they go to a walker, and then now he's talking about going to a cane because he's improved. So that's just being a resource for people. They have this disease. They don't understand it. They don't know anybody with it. So we try to connect them with a support group in their area. We have 6 support groups in the Jacksonville area, all the way from Palm Coast up to, and then we have one in southern Georgia too that are in our network that we work together. We provide speakers for them and then helping them with exercise programs too.
And I think that one of the problems that Bill discovered is that there can be days where you just don't feel like you've got it in you, that you really have to fight and to force yourself to get out and
Yeah.
to either exercise or participate.
Sometimes you learn to lie to yourself. I feel great today. I'm wonderful today. And it works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's just a day-to-day thing. But you've got to do all you can do. You just can't sit around and mope around and feel sorry for yourself.
Right. And so this event is a fundraiser. I mean, what is the funding needed for? How does it sustain Jax Hope?
To provide resources to the support groups, provide a place where people can go to when they first get diagnosed or a family member gets diagnosed, that they can call and then we can help them. We help them with transportation needs if they have them. And our long-term goal is to have a Bill Wilson Resource Center, an actual building or an office where people can go to, maybe have an exercise room. So that's some things we have in the future
Okay.
that
And
we're looking for.
um, Elaine, what is this event? I mean, where is it? How can people participate if they want to? This is the Bill Wilson Memorial Golf Tournament.
Yeah, so the golf tournament is going to be this Friday, November 15th. We tee off at 1 p.m. We have lunch starting at noon, and we still have about 20 spots left. So if people want to come and golf, we'd love to have them. We all skill levels are welcome. So we have people with Parkinson's playing. We have golf fanatics playing. We have a lot of high school volunteers coming out to help us. So we invite everyone to come play, and the funds raised from this will go to help keep people moving, keep our exercise programs going, and like Greg mentioned, hopefully eventually have a brick and mortar building.
Excellent. Well, Gregg Hummer, Alaine Keebaugh, thanks so much for being here. Have a great event on Friday.
Well,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having us.
We appreciate your support.